Episode of Stacker News Live. I'm with my BFFFF, Keyan. How was your flight?
My flight, it was good. I got a lot of, what I like about flying is you get a lot of reading done because there's like nothing else you can do, especially if you're flying in coach.
Would you fly coach?
Yeah, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Do you? No, you don't, do you?
You're
a first class guy.
No, I did. I'm not. I'm not. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm a pleb, man.
Yeah. No, because like when you're in coach, you like share an armrest with, hopefully a small man or woman. But it isn't always the case, and you can't. It's not like you can have your laptop out really and do anything as a.
What did you read?
Beefy man. I read Human Universals, which is about like anthropology's departure from cultural determinism. I read The Theory of Incentives, which is a book about a principal agent problem and like the research that's been done on that so far. I read Dare to Lead.
Oh, you did? You finally read the book I told you to read?
I'm about 100 pages in.
I literally told Keyan to read this book like a year ago, and I finally
started reading it.
What's her name? Brianna Brown? Is it Brianna Brown? I forget her name.
Oh, Brene Brown.
Brene Brown, yeah.
She lives in Houston.
She's brilliant.
Yeah. Got some good stuff in there. Mm-hmm. And then there was another book called The Heart of the Internet I was reading as well.
Oh, that sounds fascinating.
Yeah, about the history of the internet. But how was your time in Austin while I was gone?
It's been pretty steady this week. We had BitDevs. We had Katie and Jessica visit today from Plan B. So yeah, dude, it's been a crazy week. Got some people from Nashville visiting too. So yeah, man. Yeah, we're doing it.
Did you you went to BitDevs?
No, I was so tired because we really sat by this week. So I just been like trying to catch up on sleep, and yeah, I'm gonna try to start getting to them again because it's just like it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
doing these events and stuff. But let's jump into the top 5 stories of the week. Our first story is why I'm betting big on NOSTR. This is from Mr. Max Webster. Had 29 comments, 10K boost, 2,000 sats. What did you think of this post?
I thought it was good. I mean, I think Max lays out a pretty solid thesis on how he thinks NOSTR will develop and where he thinks we are currently. And I think overall it's pretty good. I mean, I talked to Max on a podcast about NOSTR. I visited San Francisco to talk to him about NOSTR, in addition to other things, but we also talked about NOSTR there. Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons to be excited about NOSTR, and he kind of lays it all out in this post that people seem to like a lot.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that like a lot of this stuff that like the devs and the plebs are working on, like from a year ago, like it takes a long time for a grassroots movement to really take off. Mm-hmm. It really does before like something really comes out of it. There's something to be said about that. I would say big shout out to Jack for like shining a light on it. If you really think about it, like, cause none of this would have been done without Jack.
I mean, he's doing a lot for it. It's not like it was that 1 week he was interested in it. He's like throwing this NOSTR conference in Costa Rica.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
I don't know. I saw that somewhere. I forget where it was. He's like circulating a doc about a NOSTR conference that he's going to throw. I've heard he's like doing more funding in the space, like no strings attached type of stuff.
Yeah.
We have a top story that's about him asking for a certain project. So
Jack's the real deal, man. It's a real deal.
He is, man.
But what did you think of his post? You felt like it was the same thing he's been telling you for the past couple months?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's stuff him and I have already talked about quite a bit. I mean, he kind of lays out what NOSTR is for people. He kind of lays out the 4 kind of categories of things he thinks businesses will be built out of. Like there will be relay businesses and relays providing resources for people. And that's probably a businesses that handle identity particularly well. Businesses like the clients, like a Adamas, and all the Snort and Enigma. I don't think Enigma wants to be turned into a business, but search and discovery is a big one. There's like search usually forms natural monopolies, and there's probably no getting around that. You probably have to have a natural monopoly on search, or at least an oligopoly, just because So that's like another interesting area he thinks will develop. And so that's cool. And he kind of lays out some of the projects, some of the early signs of things he's seen in these spaces. The Diagon Alley stuff is pretty interesting. Apparently they're going to do like an open bazaar using Nostr and Ellen Bits.
You've been around the past couple of days, but there's a new person here visiting that's doing something on Nostr too on his spare time. We also have Topher in here. He's like our head Nostr guy now since Super left. And it's fascinating because you see and then there's other people inside the lab that don't necessarily agree with Nostr. It's fascinating to see like these guys talk about it, some in a happy way, some in a bearish way, but it's fascinating. I think hearing those different sides really gets me to appreciate it a little bit more. Yeah,
it's kind of complex. There's reasons to be both bullish and bearish. It's just early. You could be either. Any early product, you could straddle either side. But the product will be better because of the bearishness and the bullishness.
What did any comments with the stackers say?
Oh, lots of cool stuff. So Tony came in. He gave some good feedback. We know Tony's like generally a Nostr bear.
Yeah,
and he kind of gave some, but he viewed the article pretty favorably because he thought it got relatively specific and wasn't just like Nostr's going to save the world. And so he liked that. He thinks that there could be more intersections between Nostr and some of the things that he thinks are going to succeed in decentralizing the web, like decentralized identity. And so they had a good back and forth there. Melvin came and commented. He works quite a bit on Nostr stuff and is active in the Nostr community. Lots of really good comments. KR comes in, talks about, some of the business side of stuff and tries to get that figured out. But overall, pretty solid reception from Stacker News, which is increasingly because I should rename it Nostr News because we have so much Nostr stuff.
It's true. I mean, we're doing the SatSpy hackathon in March, and we made a Nostr category.
I mean, maybe we should just give up on Bitcoin and start working on Nostr. What do you think?
It's true.
Yeah.
Our next top story is Jack is paying 1.2 Bitcoin bounty for the best GitHub clone on Nostr. This one had over 900 sats, 17 comments. This is from Gem.
Yeah. So apparently, Jack, if you listen to NBK's podcast with Jack and JB or William and Fiat Joff, one of the things that Jack says needs to happen is Nostr needs a killer app. I have a feeling this is his intuition on what a killer app would be, because this is something people kind of complain about with GitHub is that Git is like this decentralized protocol. It can be used in a decentralized way, but GitHub has somehow managed to centralize most of the code on the internet in one place. And so it's kind of a bummer. And, given Nostr is kind of technical, I mean, you have to think Jack thought about all the angles. Nostr is kind of technical. So if anyone's going to understand Nostr, it's going to be a GitHub user. And so if you can appeal to that, that's maybe a good target audience for a relatively technical product. And those people start using Nostr. They'll start building into Nostr. It's a very good idea.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it was on Twitter, the conversation about, I think Fiat Joff had posted something about this, or I don't remember what it was. I'm not sure if it's in there. Did he comment on it? Did Fiat Joff come in and comment on it at all, or no?
I don't think he did. No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know this stuff, man. That's gonna be more your thing. I think at this point it's whatever the devs want, man.
Whatever the devs
want. This is what they want, then do it.
Yeah. I think it's pretty. I gave some recommendations in the thread for how I think it should. I've worked quite a bit with Git on thinking about building a decentralized Git before, and so I have some point of view on maybe how to achieve it. I think the main things that GitHub has that they are claimed to be needed for centralization are discovery profiles, reputation, and other types of metadata, and that kind of stuff. Maybe you could put that on Nostr. I said in here that I don't think we should be hosting the code files on Nostr itself, but someone came along and said, why not have relays do that? And that's a good point. Maybe relays should. My main thing is Git doesn't require the files to be stored in a centralized way, but it might be or in a somewhat distributed way on like Nostr, but it might benefit people being able to get to the IP address.
Is it really a problem, GitHub, right now? Like the fact that Microsoft owns it, other than just the
censorship?
Yeah.
So they have censored projects. There's one project that allows you to like download YouTube videos, and that was censored at one point.
Oh,
and there are other projects that are like, they're seen as controversial. You can you can imagine a subset of projects that appeal to certain internet communities that are viewed as bad. I think they also do things like blocking like Iran and blocking other, countries that
and so
don't like this
there's
stuff.
other GitHub clones, aren't there? Because I know Ethereum has their own GitHub clone, don't they?
Yeah, there's GitLab.
Yeah.
There's Gitia is another one people commonly run. I mean, so there's ones that you can run yourself. You can host your own server and put your Git files there, and people can discover them like it's its own GitHub. There's also Bitbucket. There's a bunch of them. I built one a few years ago, but GitHub's the main one.
I think the real alpha to this kind of thing. I mean, if Jack is telling people to build it, there's probably a reason he's telling people to build it. It's the same reason why, like, we have Jesse from Kraken was saying get your Bitcoin off exchanges because there's nothing we can do about it. I'm not saying, but that's what I read into it when I see that happening. I mean, follow the money, right?
I mean, follow the taste. And so Jack obviously has impeccable taste. I remember, do you remember in 2012 when he was raising for Square, and like Kevin Rhodes he made a promotional video for Square. He wanted so badly to put money into Square early that he made a promotional video for Square before it had even like
pitch deck. I didn't know
before it had even launched, because he was having a hard time getting in the round. But that's how desirable backing Jack was.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Definitely knows what he's doing. The next top story is Wavlake player and studio now live. This is from Muteness, 13 comments, 24.96 sats.
Yeah, I've checked this out quite a bit. I think it looks pretty snazzy. I'm really happy with the direction they're going. I'm really excited about the progress they've made. It seems way simpler. Before, I don't know if you don't know, the alpha release of Wavlake that happened, I don't know, maybe like 6 to 8 months ago, required you to like host stuff on your own node. This is more like a podcasting 2.0 type of model, and you can interact with the entire thing from the browser. It's pretty dope. It does everything you'd kind of want it to do. I mean, it's still it's just released, so I think we can expect a lot of iteration and improvement, but yeah, I think it's cool.
I think for me, like, there's no secret, I'm a big music fan, but
the Nirvana shirt.
I have a lot of things, right? So I'm not going to try to be too critical, but right, we've been hearing about Wavlake for about 8 months now. We covered them early. I think we're the first media company to cover them back like 8 months ago. I think Remy did it. That was when I first heard about it. It was through Remy. And then at that point, it was just nothing, right? And then they got investment from Trammell and like some of these other guys. Right now, what I see is like it needs a lot of work. Like it needs a lot of work, and it's not even the musicians. It's not even the artists. It literally is like, where's the play button there? Like it's down there at the bottom. Every album art should have a play button.
Yeah, but I think let
me just get through all these things. Like the fact that I can't, like, I can go to Bandcamp and go play and hear a song. The fact that I can't go to Wavlake and actually figure out how to play a song right away. I was literally talking to the other guys like, hey, can you guys figure out how to play? And then like Francis came over, he's like, oh, it's right here. Like it took me like 10, 20 seconds. That's too long. So I'm going to move on.
So UX.
So it's just figure out how to just go to the site and play. The next thing that's really kind of unfortunate, and this probably has to do with funding, but I would imagine they have some kind, because you did it, right? Like there needs to be sats already loaded, preloaded. And I don't know how you did it early on.
I didn't do it.
Oh, you did? Okay, so that's going to be a bigger problem with music, right? Music, it just in general has always been free. We live in a culture now where music is free. You can't expect people to launch sats in there. No one's going to pay sats for these artists. It's just not going to happen. You have to give them an incentive to do it. It's Bandcamp. It took them years, a decade, and they're still trying to get like going.
Yeah.
And then, so that's the last point, is just like everything else. I love it. I think it's magnificent. I'm glad that he made it. Like Sam has like multiple albums in there. It's freaking gorgeous to look at. But yeah, those are the two big criticisms. The plane and the no sats.
Yeah, I think the plane is a good criticism. That's just that's a small UX change. All I got to do is move the button. It's kind of hidden now, I think, is the point you're kind of making. And that's just like a UX. They're trying to make it look cool and minimal. And so that, putting the play button makes more prominent makes sense. As far as the sats, so you can play the music without paying. So you actually don't need to load anything to start using the app, I guess.
But if the whole point, Keyan, is to fund the artists, what are we doing here? Like, why I'll just go load it at Bandcamp instead. This is where I was like when we would talk about this like months ago last year, I was like, why hasn't Fountain just like imported like Bandcamp's like albums? Like, why hasn't that happened yet? There's tons of audiobooks for free. Why hasn't that happened yet? Public domain stuff. This is the same thing. This is the same situation. Like, why haven't you uploaded all the public domain stuff? Why haven't you reached out to Bandcamp and like figure out how to get their albums on there? I think this is one iteration of how it could be done, but I have an idea, and me and somebody else have been talking about it in the lab, where you could do it completely different. And I just think that right now this works for right now, and I think this is good. It's good, but this is not the only way it could be done. I think there's a lot there. This is why it's important to be around other creatives, other builders, so you can get this like these small little critiques. But yeah, I didn't want to be too harsh. I know I'm being harsh.
You're being pretty harsh. You're being pretty harsh.
But I love it.
I know, but I think something it's very easy to be critical of an early product, and it's just very early. I think a lot of the things you mentioned, I think it's a mistake to think they're not on their radar already, or they won't be soon on their radar, and they're iterating to the point where you think it should be. It's just my feeling is they're smart founders, and what they did was they had a version of the product that was functional enough that they could get it out there and start getting opinions like this, so they can build the future product that's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. But that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so
I'm not being harsh.
No,
I'm just giving you. Because we've literally been talking about this very idea for the longest time. I'm just giving feedback.
Yeah,
I've been thinking a lot about it.
Yeah,
could I have delivered it better? Sure, but I've been thinking a lot about it.
Yeah. Overall, I think I'm really impressed with the shift in like architecture they made, and the fact that they delivered on it is really cool and impressive, and I can't wait to see more.
Shout out to Joe Martin though. He has got his music up there. He was trying to force Fountain to kind of do it on there. So shout out to him.
Yeah, I think the player works pretty well. I haven't loaded it with sats yet, but I've signed up and everything, and I think it is MVP. It has just the minimum stuff that you need to get to begin making sense of what Wavlake will eventually be. That's like a cool animation.
Because I think Tidal's also working on this. Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
With sats?
I could have sworn I saw that somewhere on Nostr. Could be wrong. The next top story is how to use Nostr. Man, everything's Nostr. How to use Nostr, a decentralized censorship resistant social layer. This is from BTCSessions. Oh yeah, I saw this one. This was great, dude.
Yeah, he did a big comprehensive video on a lot of the clients, on a lot like how to use Nostr safely. Things to think about Nostr. He does as usual, he does a great job of simplifying rather technical topics in a way that people can understand. And I thought it was awesome. I didn't watch the whole video, but I did watch a nice chunk of it. And I think it's pretty cool to see more people. I mean, it seems like I think we should just give up on Bitcoin, personally. Let's
what's going on with you?
Let's have the miners shut down and run relays, guys.
I can tell you went to San Francisco, man. Come on. I would just shout out to Ben. I mean, Ben always does these great tutorials, and there's no one better at it, quite frankly. Right now, and Nostr is just like blowing up on YouTube. Like, it's just you put Nostr hashtag. I mean, it's good stuff. But definitely check it out. Is that all our top stories? I think that's it, right? Is that all 5? Yeah. That's
no, we have.
So the last one is Nustash. It's a Cashu Wallet for your browser that lets you connect to mints.
Nustash sounds gross, and I love it. Like, it just sounds kind of nasty.
Sounds really gross. This is from Running Bitcoin. 15 comments. 2,331 sats.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would probably go with Nutshell, but Nustash it's better because it's like grosser. I mean, even like the like squirrel nut kind of looks like a turd a little bit. It's kind of nice. Anyway, so this is like the wallet I think we showed off last week. I don't think it had much of a name. And it's the kind of the same thing, but he's made it in a way where you can kind of run it yourself. And so you're not dependent on him. And so this is the UI that we saw last week. You can go through the process. Like I went and created a mint. And so I can go on LNbits and I can go and start making new tokens of my mint. It's like literally a few clicks if you're using the Legend server at LNbits. But you can also do it on your own LNbits instance and immediately begin, having fun with Cashu. So pretty cool to see how fast the pace of innovation is on Cashu stuff.
I feel like he's just like Cal. Is it Cal that's doing this?
I don't think so. I think this is someone working with Cal.
Oh, wow. Okay. Man, they're just moving fast, dude. It's cool to see, dude. Really cool to see.
Yeah. I think it's fun. I mean, people, maybe a lot of custodial services will start doing this instead of, other types of IOUs. Like maybe this is a more private form of IOU. Maybe this will become the dominant way. I guess we'll wait and see. I don't think this stuff is like really ready for super prime time yet, but I mean, if it keeps getting better at this rate, it'll soon be there.
Yeah, can't wait to see more of it. We have AMAs. So we have the Stacker News AMAs. You do AMAs like 3-4 times a week now, I think, at this point.
2. I mean, we probably average 2 at this point. Yeah,
this is from Casey Rodamore, creator of Ordinal Theory AMA, 12,000 sats, 40 comments. This is from Casey. What do you think?
Yeah. Casey's like one of my favorite people in Bitcoin. He's just really smart and has his own point of view on a lot of stuff. And that's really fun because there is like any community, there's quite a bit of groupthink. And I feel like Casey is, thinks for himself on quite a few things. And that's really awesome. But yeah, so ordinals are kind of complicated too, and but they're simple if you actually spend the time on it. You don't spend that much time, but they're just pretty cool. He basically made a numbering scheme or like kind of an abstraction on top of Satoshis in a way that allows you to track them, and you can transfer them. You can associate things they call inscriptions, which are like NFTs, and send them to other people. And so you can have like NFTs actually stored in the Bitcoin blockchain and send them around. And it's just kind of fun. In general, the project is just fun. I think that's what I see in it. You got a lot of great questions about like, what do NFTs on Bitcoin different than other projects? He says it's not really clear. It benefits from Bitcoin being like decentralized and everything, but the use cases might be identical to other chains, and it's not clear that they're not yet. But I think it seems to me the main thing motivating Casey is that he's having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, Casey's he's a real one, but just in general, ordinals are going to be a hard thing to like really understand. But I've talked to him multiple times about it. I feel like at this point I fully understand it. I think there's something to be said about the NFT thing though. the fact remains, dude. I think he's right. I think if you can argue about ordinals and sats, if they have higher value and all that stuff, but I think he's right about the NFTs. There's just something more there. And like we have, what's his name? He's into NFTs in here, and he's a young kid. Like how do you like
Marcus?
Yeah, it's like how do you not accept that that's going to be a thing, whether you like it or not in Bitcoin?
This is something him and I go back and forth on a little. I think here it's like what motivates people to collect. Like people collect things. Like what they collect digital things. I knew a friend who interviewed at a company in San Francisco years ago before NFTs were even a thing, and they were doing a centralized version of digital art ownership, and so there's a huge collectible market out there. People who collect figurines and all kinds of things. There's no reason it can't be digital necessarily, like especially if there's not much difference between a playing card and an NFT. The playing card is physical, but people can copy a playing card pretty easily. So
I think it's going to catch on, dude. I really do. I think 12 months, 11 months from now, we'll be talking about ordinals the same, or not ordinals as like NFTs, as we were talking about Nostr. It's going to be the same thing. And people are going to
way, really?
I think so, dude. I'm telling you, like first off, you have a dev like him working on it. Second off, he makes it fun, right? Yeah. And he's a likable dev. Like people like working with him. People like working underneath him, us alongside of him. That's a big thing. That's how you start a grassroots movement. Like you think it's like a surprise that Nostr took off? It was like fiat chop. Like,
yeah.
Right? It's like the people need to start understanding like devs hold a lot of power. They really do.
Yeah.
And I think no one appreciates them. I appreciate you, but no one appreciates them for that. It's a real thing, dude. It's a real thing.
Yeah, for sure. It's real.
I'm just saying that
respect.
I would not be surprised.
In summary, respect.
Respect the devs.
Respect the devs. Respect Casey. We had another AMA.
This is from Katie the Russian, who just stopped by Pleb Lab. Plan B Passport AMA. I think I asked her a question. I don't know if she answered it, but the flag theory is pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, I find that pretty cool. Yeah, unfortunately, she didn't get many questions very early, and so I think she had to bow out. But the questions that she did answer are really good. She's very good at. She has kind of a point of view on kind of trad stuff that's really interesting, and it overlaps with this flag theory stuff. A really interesting point of view on motherhood and all this kind of stuff. One of the interesting questions, Kevin Rook asked her if she could pick one country in the world, where would she pick? And she's like, I'd never do that, which I thought was a great answer. We know someone who's well, I guess he docks himself. We have the Bitcoin bum is apparently about to have a baby, and he's asking, about thanking. I think Katie helped him figure that process out for home birthing. And
Katie's a real one, man. I've had many conversations about a lot of stuff, and she's made me look at things differently from like just like a Bitcoiner perspective. It's just, there's a reason why she's very successful doing the Plan B stuff. She gets it. There's no one better than her. Can't wait to see how it looks like for like Mexico and El Salvador. I think she said in the AMA that she was very surprised how fast Mexico took off last year. That surprised her. So more and more passports out there.
Yeah. Viva la Mexico.
Is that all the AMAs?
Yeah, that's all the AMAs. Now we're into your top story.
So click this. So this is a lightning cats thing, and you can feed them every time they're there. Can we try to feed one of the cats right now? Can you click on the thing there?
Futan.
All right, let me see if I can pay this. All right, let me see. I want to feed this cat. Let's see if this works. All right, and then I can pay. Oh, that's it. Okay, so I'm paying the cat right now. We need more of these, man. This takes I don't know how long this would have took, but we need more of this stuff. So I just paid it right now, and it should drop right there. We'll see if did it drop?
There it goes.
Oh, there it goes. See right there. And then the cat should walk over.
If it's not like with the owner or something. assuming it's like only hanging
But
out
isn't
in
this
room.
a cool like little like? Is this a webhook? Is this what this called or API? What is this?
I don't know. It's like I wouldn't call it.
Wait,
I don't
did
think
the
you need
bear
to get
just
technical.
move? I feel like the bear's leg just moved. Oh, there it goes. Let's go. Kitty, 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 kitty. You're welcome. You're welcome, buddy. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how that works.
That
Lightning
cat's
cats.
gonna get fat pretty soon. people are gonna start using this thing.
Feeding cats with lightning. See what lightning solves? Keyan solves everything.
It's true. That's awesome. Yeah, that's
Anyway,
pretty
that's
cool.
my top story.
That's like the chicken feed one. Have you seen the chicken Pollo feed?
Yeah, this one's better though.
Yeah, cats are
way better.
Cats are better for the internet. My top story is this blog post about like deconstructing Luke Dasher's hack, and so they think they know what happened.
Where did they get this data from? From Luke?
From Luke. I think Luke shared his drive with someone who did this analysis. Whoa. So apparently what they think happened is someone did an external media boot from somehow on his server. I don't know if his server host had some kind of vulnerability or something, but they did an external media boot and they copied files onto his computer in the cloud. And then those files basically gave them the ability to have root access to his machine.
Wow. So you're basically saying they like imaged his system and then threw it on a VM of a sort, and then
no. So apparently, with his host or something, I don't know exactly. They didn't go too into detail on how this is, and it's only a theory right now. But they booted from an external media source, like a hard drive of some kind, and apparently, when you do that, you can mount another file system to the computer and copy anything from your external media source onto that drive you've mounted. And that drive you mount is the drive that normally runs Luke's server, or normally is mounted.
So he had
server.
his keys on the server? Is that what you're saying?
I don't actually know. They don't go into that here. It just says, it tries to be pretty clear about what it knows and what it doesn't know. And it's like, these are the scripts that got installed. These are what these scripts do when they're installed, but it doesn't say exactly, all the things that happened because they don't know.
How did that not make the top 5?
I'm not so sure why. It might have been. I think it might have got posted like at a weird time of day.
Okay,
but
yeah, man, what a interesting week. We got a lot of stories in there. A really interesting week.
Yeah, there's there's quite a bit of back and forth in the comments. They might have gotten to it more. I didn't have a chance to read it. And then we'll get into super top stat segment. So the top stackers for the week is me. Thank me. And Darth Coin at the top of the list. Yeah, Ron Armor, Katie. Darth. Saituri. Wumbo, Boomy, DK. DK shared that podcast with me. North Korean hostage. A lot of top stackers this week. And then our big spenders are me at the top again. Everyone lost to me again.
Who's Omen?
I don't know. Apparently a big spender. Look at that crystal ball there.
Pi? How are these still 2-letter Snacker News names out there?
I don't know. People don't have them yet.
There's Austin.
That's right. Austin, Roy. Yeah. Roy came through. Bolt Observer.
Wow, I haven't seen that in a while.
Phaedrus. We got lots of...
Juan too, yeah.
Lots of big spenders.
The Muzzman. Look at the Muzzman.
Is he on there?
He's on there.
Oh, he is there. The Muzzman.
He's out there spending some sats.
Muzz.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think that's it for our top segment. Do we have any boosts?
No boost this week. Hey, it's a bear market, boys. But we want to thank our supporters out there. Usually just Blockchain Boog.
Thank you, Blockchain Boog.
Yeah, I talked to Super.
Okay, no, really?
That's Super awesome. Testnet.
What's going on with Super?
He's coming back. Can you believe it?
This early? He's coming back early?
He's coming back for the hackathon.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's coming back for the hackathon. He confirmed.
Oh, that's excellent.
You don't have to RSVP here, but I'm saving you a desk.
I don't
know if you have your old desk back, but...
I hope he runs into my arms in slow motion when he comes back.
There's rumors. There's rumors he might be sooner. We'll see.
Oh, wow. That's super exciting.
TBD. What do you got going on this weekend?
What do I have going on? I'm gonna do a date night tonight.
Oh, where are you going?
I think I'm gonna go to East Side, which is like a tavern near my house, and I've been craving nachos because I didn't get a whole bunch of sleep, and I just kind of want.
Oh yeah, so what did you
silly.
do? You didn't tell anybody what you did in San Francisco.
Oh, I just met with investors. I met with investors, and we talked about Nostr and Stacker News and Bitcoin, and I don't know what companies and investing.
They just wanted your advice.
Not advice. It was more like, hey, well, investors I hadn't met in person yet, so it's kind of cool. You kind of get to see the full person. Otherwise, I would just met them on video or online. Yeah. And yeah, we had deep dish pizza, which was really good. It was really good.
Do they have really good deep dish pizza out there?
Oh, San Francisco has like every food you want. Yeah, they do. It's pretty excellent. I didn't get to spend much time in San Francisco, so I
think you would have got like a hot pot or something.
They definitely have great hot pot too, but they have literally anything you want in terms of food. They have like a great version of it because that's just what it is. People have money to spend there. So
yeah, it's San Fran.
San Fran.
Well, we'll see you next time, Stackers. Have a